Studio, and joining us now, Keith Davis, the Deputy Commissioner of Operations for the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, oversees the Driver Services Bureau. Morning, Keith. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You bet. So, the Skip the Line program is kind of the main focal point of our discussion this morning. Tell us about that and how that's going.
Skip the Line is an amazing thing that the Department of Public Safety unveiled last October, and it has allowed us to reduce our wait times in the Driver Service Bureau dramatically. I ran some numbers in preparation for your show, and the highest point in 2019, the wait time was 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 22 seconds for individuals going into the Driver Service Bureau to be serviced by DPS employees. And as of today, that wait time is down to 31 minutes and 58 seconds. So we think that that's phenomenal.
Wow. So cut it in more than half.
Certainly.
And what do you attribute that to? So tell us exactly what changed from a systems and processes perspective to achieve this improvement.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't start out by saying our state legislature. And my friend Michael Watson, I think, led the charge with his, move it to the Secretary of State's office.
Yep.
But, the legislature and the governor agreed that, changes need to be made in the Driver Service Bureau. So we have rolled out different software programs, but most importantly, the morale of the employee. I think if your listeners go into a Driver Service Bureau today, you'll see a much happier employee.
Yeah.
And those employees are working hard to see those customers and get those customers out the door.
Well, one thing I've noticed, just as I drive by the headquarters there on Woodrow Wilson 55 of DPS, I don't see the lines out the doors that you were accustomed to seeing, frankly.
Certainly. And if you go to, obviously I get a lot of calls about, hey, can you get me in? I don't want to go wait in line. And I just say, have you just tried the Skip the Line program? And, I've, pushed people towards going to that program and making an appointment with our Driver Service Bureau, and you'll be surprised at the responses they will get as a result of that.
So that's a major change, and I think it is fair to say that Secretary of State Michael Watson, he kind of got the discussion charged up, even though the processing and the function didn't get moved to his office. I think he called attention to it.
Well, I know he would like to believe that, so...
Well, I'm giving him some credit there, I guess.
There you go.
He's a good friend. But, and then, of course, the commissioner, Sean Tyndall, comes on board, and he recognizes that improvements needed to be made, and so he sort of commissioned that, and then you guys got after it and got it implemented.
Absolutely. We Governor Reeves appointed Sean Tyndall, and I think that was a major appointment. He's a very smart man, and he's hired a team of folks that are committed to making that difference, and we certainly want to see that through.
Yeah. All right. So now, how does it work, though, Keith, with respect to renewal of a license relative to your photo that's got to be embedded in your license? How often do you have to go back to shoot a new photo to update your license?
Well, that's funny. The federal government with the Real ID Act, that date has been pushed, and now it's in 2023.
Yeah.
But in Mississippi currently, you can have an 8-year license, and every 8 years you have to get your photograph updated.
Okay.
But there's some things that we're going to be rolling out here in the near future with the form of mobile ID and some virtual examiner and other things that we're bringing to the forefront that you may not even have to come in for that. So we're excited about the future, and look forward to keeping these lines short and making Mississippi happy.
Yeah, it's really all about leveraging technological tools to just service the public and just improve the experience and make it more convenient.
Certainly. Commissioner Tyndall talks often about his vision of reducing our footprint, brick and mortar footprint, and making it more of a digital footprint. So a lot of exciting things coming out, and I hope to come back on your show and talk about those things in the coming months.
Yeah. All right, so what about gun permit renewals and so forth? Tell us about that and how DPS figures into that.
So that was another vision of Commissioner Tyndall, that, instead of actually coming into the Driver Service Bureau and standing in line with individuals trying to renew their driver's license, you can now renew your gun permit online totally online. We will be rolling out in the coming weeks a fillable form. Right now, you have to print the forms out and handwrite the application, but in my view of those forms, the handwriting sometimes were not legible. So now you're going to be able to go onto the internet and fill that form out online, print it out, and mail it in to us, and you should receive your firearm permit within a few days.
Yeah. All right. So it also represents an improvement. This comes up almost every time we broach this subject, Keith, is commercial driver's license, CDLs. There's still some folks experiencing waits on that. What initiatives and efforts are underway to improve that process?
Well, I can tell you this. We have been in discussions with the Mississippi Truckers Association, and they have shared with me some of their concerns, and we are listening to them. They are not separate from the numbers that I have represented to you here today. We are working on different aspects of the driver service program to reduce their waits as well. I've met with several different trucking companies across the state, and we hear them, and we're working towards that as well.
Okay. All right. So we're addressing that. Now, school's out, right?
School's out.
So we got lots of teenagers that are probably going to be pursuing their driver's license. How should parents pursue that and handle that to achieve the most efficient approach?
Well, one of the things the legislature this year, starting July 1st, did away with the intermediate driver's license. So one of the things, the big questions that parents have is the driver's test. When you and I went and got our driver's license, we had to get in the car with a trooper and drive around the building and come back and park the car.
Parallel park.
That's right, parallel park. So now you no longer have to do that.
Okay.
Parents need to be aware that, if you go to our website, dps.gov, there's an affidavit there, and you have to sign an affidavit saying that you've observed your child drive for 50 hours, and you bring that in with all of your other documents, and that part of the test is done.
Interesting.
The only test left in the process is the actual permit test.
Yeah.
And the legislature
that's the written test,
yeah. Correct. We will be going to a at-home test shortly.
Okay.
That's one of the things that exciting things to talk about in the coming months.
I must tell you that the troopers who were responsible for administering the practical driving test, it didn't seem like they were having a lot of fun doing that. I know they do it because it's their duty and it's their assignment and so forth. And I can only imagine what that's like doing that for like an entire day, applicant after applicant coming in. But so I think this is a major improvement. So are you comfortable with that, where a parent would sign an affidavit? You feel good about that? 50 hours, right?
50 hours. Initially, I had some concerns with it, but you know what? A parent is not going to come in and if their kid is not prepared to drive.
I think that's right. Yeah.
So I'm very comfortable with it. I'm
All
very
right.
comfortable with it. And we haven't seen any increased accidents. We've been doing this since the height of the pandemic. So I can't provide you any numbers where accidents are increased among that age group. So
Okay.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. What about just making sure that I think it's probably more common, I could be wrong about this, about using their phones while they're driving amongst the younger folks who just seem to be more married to their phones.
Well, I travel a lot, and it's not just the younger folks.
I agree with you.
It's me and you
you
as well.
You're right.
So we just like to remind people that, you are behind a at least 2,000-pound vehicle traveling more than 50 miles per hour. Just stay aware of your surroundings and, put the phone down. And if you must make phone calls, there's so many devices out there, hands-free devices that you can get now. And most cars are equipped with hands-free.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
We encourage people to put the phones down and stop texting. And if you have to communicate with someone, just call them and use hands-free devices.
Yeah, it's good advice. Also, we got just a second here left, but Trooper Harris, our hearts and prayers go out to him, his family, and our condolences and our deep respect. Keith, to you and all the state troopers. And, of course, we are so grateful for Colonel Ginn and Major Pullis and the commissioner. We have a great highway patrol here in the state of Mississippi.
Listen, Mississippi needs to be proud of their Department of Public Safety. I would put the Department of Public Safety up against any of the 50 states in this country, and Mississippi will outshine them.
Keith, thanks so much for coming in today, and thanks for all you guys do. Really great news on all the stuff we got going on with the Skip the Line and so forth.
Exciting times. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, Keith.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
We'll be right back on the